And that's how you monetize your mind.
That's right. That's right. It's so cool. So the last thing you were talking, I know that we'll talk about your More Power to Publish workshop, correct? That's one of the slides we have, and I'd love to go ahead and put that up there so that we can look at that real quick.
And actually, if the website, morepowertopublish.com, if they want to go there, they can find out more about the workshop that's coming up actually in the middle of May, May 17, 18, and 19 in Irvine, California. We have some really great experts, well-known people that will be there, kind of pulling back the curtain and explaining this. And if someone is watching this later on a DVD or on YouTube or Vimeo or something, we're sure to have other presentations of it, other formats of it, because we'll repurpose the content, of course, from that conference and make it available to people.
That is awesome. I know that one of the things I'm going to go back to is the value of your mind. When we look at that slide, there's a lot of information in there. And what is it that you want to cover in this segment when you look at that slide? Well,
I want to cover some of the different aspects. People think that if they talk about the value of their mind or the value of the intellectual property that someone has in their head, they think of knowledge. It's a lot more than just knowledge. Of course, as we specialize, as we learn, as we study our niche, we learn certain aspects of knowledge, but other people can learn that also. But it's some of the other things that are actually what create the value that we can monetize. One of them is experience. It's one of the things I discovered when I wrote my first book. I had it all laid out step by step. This is how you become, this was More Power, an Entrepreneur's Roadmap to Success. And I had all the steps. These are what you need to do to be a successful entrepreneur. And I turned it over to a wise book strategist, and she read it, and she said, you know, Bob, this is all true, and it's all right, but it's really kind of boring. She said,
oops.
Why don't you tell some stories? Why don't you tell experiences that you had? When you talk about failing at something, why don't you tell us what it was like and what happened when you failed and what you learned from it? When you succeeded and were extremely successful in one particular venue or avenue, why don't you tell us about that? Tell us some stories. Tell us stories of other people. And it's actually our experiences that become very important. And it's people love to hear the stories of how we did it, how that happened. And for our listeners, you've had experiences. You've had things happen to you that would be really valuable for me to hear about. And so you need to realize that your background, your experiences are valuable.
You can become a published author. Discover a system that will lead you from idea to having your book on the bookshelves. Bob Baer pulls back the curtain at the More Power to Publish workshop. Watch and learn how to follow the step-by-step plan to turn your idea into a published book. Learn more at morepowertopublish.com.